Hi, I'm Steve Goff from the Washington Post. On to game two. What progress would you like to see this game after the other day and as you continue to build up?
Well, as I stated last press conference, there will be changes and a number of changes in this game. So with that comes disruption, and you almost feel like you're having to repeat step one all of the time, particularly considering that we've got players that have now been with me since last May, and then a group of new players that are having to absorb a lot and never actually had any minutes yet. So I don't know what to expect. However, there are, for me, some basic standards that I want to make sure we do in terms of our duels, our ground duels, our aerial duels. I wasn't particularly happy with that in the last game. But when it comes to our attacking play, added a bit more detail in and around decision-making and execution when we get into the right areas, whether that's in possession or whether it's the type of runs. So I'm just looking forward to seeing another group together, and this is the camp for me to see so many different players, but I urge patience on that because you can't have everything all at once.
Amid all the players coming in and the holdovers and all, I was wondering if you could, what are your observations about Sam Coffey and her maturation and growth that you've seen over the past 6, 9, 12 months?
I mean, Sam is an incredible student of the game. She really is. I mean, I would ordinarily get a text off of her. If she could have daily clips, she would. In fact, she might even be 5 minutes late because she's with Denise looking at her clips from her last game. She is someone who has a thirst for learning and improving, that even the smallest details, you know, the positioning of where she should sit between two strikers, how deep she should go, to when she should come with the ball, when she should hold her position. She not only studies hard, but she's a really fast learner, which is always great for coaches. She's a tremendous human being in so many ways. And yes, I've seen her mature, and she was probably the one player before, as soon as I got the job, I was adamant I wanted in this group, because I think they don't make them like Sam Coffey much anymore, and she's a gem.
Do you have anything, Steph? Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. Goalkeeper has been a position where this team has found a lot of stability over the years, whether it was the Hope Solo era, now Lissa. We've got Mandy Hott in now replacing Jane. I'm just wondering how you see your evaluation of that pool going forward through these games, and as you talked about preparing for that 26, 27 era, 28.
As I've mentioned, this is a camp of a lot of experimentation. I think when we go to England and Netherlands, I think that will be a very solid, strong group. It's a tier 1 game for us. And then in the new year, I think beyond the Futures camp and the WNT training camp, it might not be until she believes that we start to etch out what that squad composition is. But in the short term, I think we know Lissa has been an unbelievable goalkeeper for us for many, many years. And of course, we have to start to identify, you know, those players that are, you know, coming up around her, Mandy being one of them. There are others that I'm sure we will evaluate in this period too. But I think that in the long term is very wide open, hence the reason we will look at that over the coming months as opposed to just this camp.
No? Let's go to Donald. He's on online. Go ahead, Donald.
Thanks, Aaron, and hi, Emma. Thanks for your time today. I want to talk about the midfielders and the creativity that is normally U.S. is known for. How do you continue to build that with a newer group that includes a few new players?
Well, I think, to be honest with you, this team, you know, we're averaging somewhere between sort of 650, 700 passes a game, and getting inside the opponent's box somewhere between about 35 and 45 times a game, which is exceptional. For us, it's about creating the right chances in the right moments, and I've often found these are the hardest things to achieve. I played Rose a little bit lower the other night, and I really enjoyed watching Rose play in an 8 position because I think she links from back to front really, really well. We will look at other players tomorrow in that position, and I think, to be honest with you, we've got so much depth coming through. That's what excites me the most. There's players that I haven't seen yet in that position. So I want to be in a situation, first of all, get the tactical evolution right within the team. And I feel like I saw steps in the right direction in the last game. Then my next steps are to do it more often, but with even better execution in the final third.
Back to Steve.
Just curious, Ahmed, have you, in this international window, have you watched or observed or noticed the other matches going on around the world, some of the results, and maybe some of your observations or thoughts on?
Yeah, I had
the
a
game?
day off yesterday. So Harry and I had a lazy one, and he let me watch England-Germany. Yeah. So I watched that game, watched a bit of Spain, Canada. Listen, I love watching football, so forget the part that it's my job. Like, I'd be watching it if it weren't my job. So, yes, I got to watch some football, and, of course, watching England-Germany is a classic. It was a great game to watch. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah. Emma's day off is watching football. Andrew Jones, go ahead.
Thanks as always, Aaron. I just want to ask you, so far in your time with the national team and after the success at the Olympics, have you received any unexpected message of appreciation for you from an unexpected source?
I'm trying to think.
Just Sir Alex.
Well, I had dinner with Sir Alex a couple of weeks ago. And, I was in Manchester and went for dinner with him. I'm not going to say that's standard because it isn't, but yeah, we did talk a little bit. He talked about being in New York when we won the gold medal game. So yeah, Sir Alex is probably a big one. David Beckham sent me a message, which was very nice.
We should stop there. Tennessee legend Cara Lawson is coming today.
Oh yes,
Yeah?
I'm very excited to see Cara. She's I'm a big fan, and we've become friends, and she's coming to watch training and the game, so I'm looking forward to connecting with her.
One from our crew. They would like you to talk about the celebration in Austin and coming back in the Champions match and sort of the energy of the first game on home soil and getting play in front of home fans. How was that for you and the team?
Oh yeah, no, Austin, I really enjoyed it. Sometimes with those green seats, you can't actually always see people, and then once the flags, the red, white, and blue flags were out, then I realised it was packed. I just, like I said, I like the different atmosphere in American stadiums, and it's the one thing I said to you before. I love that everything's a home game. So no matter where you are, the fans are all there for you, which is like, I'm used to a little more partisan and quite a lot more hostility, as you could imagine. So it's actually really nice to get around, and I love the crowds. They were great.
There's no cold nights in Bristol here.
I mean, I can't say I miss them, Bristol or Birmingham away, but, I learnt what a honky-tonk was yesterday on my walk through Broadway. Nobody would answer my sister and I what it was, and we spent the entire walk through Broadway debating what we thought a honky-tonk was. And I can safely say it isn't what we thought it was.
Can
Jules,
you
go ahead. Oh,
Follow.
go ahead, Jules.
Why did you think it was?
No, I mean, no, I think probably not one for here, to be honest with you. But, yeah, no, it definitely weren't what we thought it was. And it had nothing to do with pigs either.
All right, do you have one more?
are you able to tell the difference between the Austin music scene and the Nashville music scene from these two visits?
She wasn't really out and about, in Austin, but Yeah.
No, but I'm such a music fiend. And like when we went walking yesterday, I would have loved to have popped into places, but you know, I couldn't. If I'm honest with you, it really reminds me of Camden home. His music scene's big there, and my sister and I were just talking about how, just how lively everything is, and the fact that there's just live music almost everywhere is, but not just there, like motorcycles going by to the elevator. Every elevator's got music. Everybody's got a jukebox. It's a bigger music town than I really anticipated. So
Austin or here?
here, yeah, no, I've always wanted to come here, so really been enjoying it. And then I'm going to try and sneak. Well, I've got 2 hours in the morning to the Science Museum as well.
All right, well, you got one more? Yeah.
Coach, after the last game, you were so complimentary of Lissa, Thompson, and Jaden Shaw, but I just wanted to ask if you could elaborate on if you see, the mental side of their performance, particularly Jaden, the confidence to take on in the box like that, not mega keeper, but just especially at their age, if you think that that's something that you think is becoming more typical of younger players, or if you think it's unique to them and the environments that they've been in.
Well, one thing I love about our team is the diversity of our team. You think about the Southeastern Asian heritage amongst, the likes of Lissa and Jaden, shows once again like how essential that is to the makeup of any team. And in ours in particular, I think it adds so much more to our play, to our dynamism. I think Lissa is, as I've said before, sometimes you get thrusted into the big stage before you're completely ready, and it's not even. People always think, their football's been good enough, throw them in, but it takes more than that. There's a lot of tools you have to be able to play at the highest level, and sometimes that takes time to develop. I think for Jaden has been ready, but obviously the injuries meant she couldn't this summer, but. I mean, flip-flopping a ball like that inside the box, no one can teach you that. That's just natural ability. And I think if you actually look at Jaden's record in the national team shirt and you go and look at her XG for the team and her goals scored in the last 12 months, she's easily top for this team. I think she's got so many goals and assists in her, and I know how much she wants to push on. So, I'm just managing her through this period. She's only just come back, but I love Jaden Shaw as a football player, and I'm very excited for her and Lissa because they're 19 years of age. Like, look at our team, and that's why for me I have to give opportunities. I'm adamant that even if it's at the expense of the playing style in the short term, I really need to see what else is there and broaden the playing pool so that I set us up for future success.